Howdy, everybody. Sorry, having a camera malfunction. Hello, everyone. This is a roaming prepper. Hey, it's straight now. I just wanted to leave a quick message for everybody before we hit the 4th of July weekend. Normally, I do a Saturday sit rep. More than likely, I won't do that this weekend purely because I'm going to take some time to spend some time with family and, do some fun stuff. So before I go for that, for the weekend, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy 4th, a safe 4th, a blessed one. Of course, to all our troops overseas, including members of my own family, Godspeed and blessings to them that they all get home safe and intact. I would like to tell everyone while you take the 4th of July and you enjoy with family and you enjoy with friends, don't forget, just keep your mind open, reflect on where we've come in the last couple of years and where we are now. Because we're getting so distracted. Just Josh had just posted that there's threats of requiring, I'm trying to say it so I don't get busted, medicinal supplements to prevent contagion of a delta that may occur that is overseas at the moment. That probably made no sense unless you were paying attention, but you get what I'm saying. Essentially, there are threats that businesses and everything will need to close going forward. We also have a lot of drama on the borders. We have drama in the economy. And I think what we have right now is a lot of bread and circus. This is a phrase that came from the old Roman Empire. While it was in the midst of its collapse, that the emperor, instead of dealing with it, was basically saying, well, the circus was the Colosseum, or the festivals. Have a festival, go out, be crazy, make the people watch this foolery in the Colosseum. In the meantime, the Huns and the Assyrians or the Persians were destroying the outskirts of the empire. But no, don't focus on that. Focus on the bread and circuses. Feed them and give them circuses. And I feel now we have a lot of blah blah in the news and stimulus checks. And although I understand that some people did need the funding and whatnot, I think we've gotten so distracted. A lot of us are not paying attention to what's happening overseas. I mentioned it in a previous video. I know Prepper Tribes mentioned it. I believe Black Scout Survival mentioned it as well. There are the Prime Minister of Japan. Okay, so basically their president told the U.S. Envoy who was there with him and NATO countries, they were all together, and he said, be aware. He said 70 years ago, whatever many years ago, we attacked Pearl Harbor. We caught America flat-footed. And there was a terrible war, and all of us paid a terrible price. Now we are the best of friends, and we are allied in our future. I fear, if we're not careful, this is his words stating, we may wind up dealing with Russia and China at the same time. He literally told that to our ambassador in Japan. I have reason to believe, fear to believe, however he said it, that these two countries, they both want something right now. We're in the way. The best way to get what they want is to discombobulate us. They don't have to nobody has to use nukes. They just have to screw us up enough to where by the time we figure out what just happened, they've done their thing, and now we're playing a defensive game. Pay attention to those geopolitics, because if something happens, or even if somebody screws up, a Russian plane flies over a British destroyer, and instead of dropping the bomb in front of it, hits the thing and sinks it. I promise you the Brits will start shooting back, and it's going to go downhill. Hey, D9. So while you're out and about this weekend, reflect on what's going on. Take a minute to clear your head and watch what's going on, because I believe right now all the blah blah we're hearing on MSM, and you're hearing from political wings and other tomfoolery, I think is a bit of a distraction. It's like the old Romans. It's the bread and circuses. We're all paying attention to this gibberish so that we don't see what's going on. Um, our guys finally left Bagram Air Force Base, or Air Base, I'm sorry, in Afghanistan. And one of the generals said, for all the fighting we did, the government will probably lose that big air base by the end of the year. I don't know where that's going to go, but that's a very regional issue. I'm worried about the two big guys on the opposite ends of the earth from us that are really, really annoyed with us, and because we're in their way. So continue to be ready. I mean, there's nothing we can do personally for what goes on there, but pay attention, because I fear somebody's going to make a mistake. Nobody thought World War I would happen. And then just a handful of guys decided, oh, we're going to do something bad. Yeah, it is. Hey, Caribbean House, Mom Survival, hello. You guys all texted it, all messaged at once, and I was like, whoa, lots of message. Thank you guys for stopping in. All of you guys, just pay attention to what happens, because I was watching The Patriot. This is where this came from. And while I was watching The Patriot, and it's a great movie, I'm sure all of you have seen it. Most preppers have seen that movie. At the beginning, they're in the legislature in South Carolina, and Mel Gibson's character says he wouldn't vote for the war because he couldn't fight, so he didn't want to send someone else. But he warned the other guys. He said, if it comes to war, it will not be fought in the frontier. It will be fought in our farms and cities, and our children will learn of it with their own eyes. And that struck me, because we wouldn't be fighting the Taliban or the Al Qaeda, who have come here, but not often. It would be a case of, if we get into it with big countries, that will come home. Nobody needs to use a nuke, but there are plenty of ballistic rockets that can be used that are just explosive, that would get dropped on cities back and forth. Because I promise you, if we hit China while they're trying to take Taiwan, they're going to bring it home to us, not just to Hawaii. They're going to hit whatever they can in the States. And nobody wants to push the red button, but they'll do other things. So I hope that those who are in leadership positions see the bigger picture. But keep in mind, there's been a lot of smack talk, and all we need is one country to make a mistake. One boat goes to the wrong place, one destroyer does something wrong, and it may be ugly. So continue to prep. There's really nothing we can do per se to that. We can affect elections and try to get people we think will make the right decisions in an election, but we don't have one for a little while. So in the meantime, continue to prep, but be ready. You may have to lock it down at home. My big fear is what the Patriot said in that movie. If something pops off, it won't be like the Taliban, where, yeah, the Al Qaeda came here, destroyed the World Trade Center, or they attacked the city, but that was a localized event. This would be a much more broad event. This would truly come home to people. And I've spoken to a lot of guys and girls that I have a lot of respect for. These are the kind of people I throw ideas off of. And I'm getting that general consensus from their circles as well, that everyone's kind of like, tread lightly, people, or we're going to do some. So you guys continue to make yourselves ready and reflect on where you are and where you may need to go during this weekend, and enjoy some time. The time with your family and friends and loved ones is a blessing. But remember, we didn't get the 4th of July by magic. That was a pretty ugly war back in its day, and a lot of people didn't come home because of it. As I believe Reagan said, or was it Churchill? God, I can't remember now, that you're only 1 or 2 generations away from losing your freedom. So you guys pay attention, keep speaking up, keep sharing news, and keep educating each other. The more you reach out to one another, the more we educate ourselves, we can hopefully lift up other people in our community. In the last year, I've actually made 3 new preppers out of people who knew me, and they started actually listening to the channel. And by no means do I have an exceptional channel. It's just still a small channel. But then they started looking at other people in our little circle, and they started learning. So, the more people we make aware, the better it is for our communities. So until next time, hey, Yardbirds, how are you? Uh, until next time, guys, like I said, no sit rep tomorrow unless something really bizarre happens, which if you see me go live tomorrow, it's because something came on my radar that really got my attention. But until next time, you guys and girls, please be safe. Enjoy your time with family and friends. If you see a soldier out there, sailor, airman, the coasties, I pick on the coasties, sorry, um, buy them a beer or coffee or something, because they're the reason we have what we have. And until next time, y'all stay blessed, stay ready, pay attention, and Godspeed for all the trips y'all are going to make. So you guys take care. This is Roaming Prepper. I'm going to sign off for the weekend, and I will see you next week. Y'all be good.